We're joined by Pacific Lutheran University. They just won the 7th game of the 2012 NCAA Division III Softball National Championship Tournament. We're joined by head coach Aaron Van Nostrand, first baseman Amanda Hall, and pitcher Stacy Hagenson. Coach, we'll open with comments for you about today's game, please.
I am so proud of Amanda Hall. She has struggled kind of all season long with runners in scoring position and driving them in, and since we've gotten to the regional tournament, she has been lights out. So I am so proud of her for continuing to battle and continuing to believe herself. And Stacy, they've faced her for 4 straight years. She's been our number 1 for 4 years, and she just battles the whole time. I told the girls, our bench, they just willed us. Continue to push, and I think sometimes we don't talk about the kids on the bench, but they just kept their teammates in it and helped us, really, because we were kind of deflated for a little bit there. So
we won't beat around the bush. Amanda, what's it feel like to hit that big old 3-run bomb to really be the thing that puts you guys forward?
It felt so good. I was just looking for a pitch to drive because I really wanted, put my team ahead and give us a chance. And when I just saw that pitch and I hit it, I knew it. And I don't even think I really home run trot. I think I sprinted the bases. So.
Let's talk about kind of your mindset getting into that at bat before you hit it. Both teams put up a run in the first inning, so you're neck and neck there, and then Linfield starts, adding one here, adding one there, so they're up 3-1 at that point. Talk a little about your mindset coming in, knowing that the pitcher for Linfield was handling you guys to that point, and then you broke out.
I feel like she was handling us, but I feel like we were making solid contact, and we kept, putting the ball in play and putting it in places, and we were just hitting it hard 2 places. So I just felt like we just needed that kind of one moment to just break out, and then everything was going to start following.
And Stacy, on the other side, you're seeing this happen. You're seeing the other team, you're doing well against them, but they're getting one here, getting one there, and they've eventually just kind of ground out a lead, and you're just waiting for your offense to step up. What are you thinking as you're trying to maintain to give your offense a chance?
Just holding the other team, because I have confidence in our at-bats that there's people that are going to step up like Amanda and get that hit, and so if we can keep it close, then give us a chance and somebody's going to get it done.
Let's talk about what was working for you today, because if I can coin a new term, it's kind of bend but don't break pitching. They had 12 hits against you, but then only the 3 runs, so you really minimized some damage. Talk about what was working for you and where your mindset was throughout the game.
Yeah, Aaron's going to laugh because I get asked this question every time, and I say that my pitching coach told me to think black and keep the ball in the black, and it's always what I want to try and do. And they've seen me a lot. Some of the seniors, I've been pitching against them for 4 years, so just really when they get a hit, just bear down and I have to get this girl out, and not let them string those hits together.
And I think I'm going to ask you and Coach about this, but that's the thing that's unique about this matchup, at least here in this setting. You faced each other now 8 times. You've won 5 times. It's a matchup where it's not like a normal one that you haven't faced somebody that the first time around the order they're trying to figure out. They know everything you've got. So how do you go into this game knowing that you're going to still try to keep them off balance?
I think we can go in confident knowing, because before this game we had beat them 4 out of 7 times, and the games that we lost, a couple of them were close. So we needed to go in being confident that we could beat them, and just once you start doubting yourselves and you're just digging yourself a hole, you really have to try to be confident going into it and know that we can get the job done today.
And then, Coach, in the same sense, from a coaching perspective, you're coaching against someone that probably knows just as much as how you coach from what you know how you coach. What are you thinking as you go in about, what can I do to really help create an edge here, or just to bring it here in the 8th matchup of the season?
Well, Jackson and I joked about that if we met here and then we met in the championship game, that we should just switch, and I'll coach Linfield and he should just coach PLU, because at this point in time we probably could. I pride myself on not being consistent. That you never know what we're going to do from time to time. So thinking about maybe situations where we might bunt or we might do something different to do something different consciously. But with pitch calling, we work some things, but like Stacey says, if you put it where you need it to be, and with that team, they're going to hit. You're not going to throw a 2-3 hitter against Linfield. They're going to get their hits. Keep them in the park, minimize the damage they do.
And then let's talk about just looking ahead a little bit. I know coaches don't want to look ahead past one game here, but I'm going to make you look just a little bit farther, and that you're 1 win away from a possible national championship spot. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about what that would mean for your program and for this group specifically here moving forward.
Playing in the national championship game is huge for any program. So, that's the pretty obvious answer. But for this program, and I've said this a few times, Dave. So we didn't get a bid last year, and we really believed we deserved it. And I think what it means to this program is it solidifies who we are, and now we are one of the top teams in the country. But I think on the same side, I think it serves notice that the Northwest Conference is a very good conference. So this isn't just about Linfield and PLU. This is about the Willamettes and the George Foxes of the world, who they're really good teams. And when you have to face Linfield and PLU on a regular basis, clearly. But I think it serves a notice to, yeah, there is a part of the country, it's called the Pacific Northwest, and I'm from New York, and my dad calls it Southeast Alaska. So I think, I think that's almost more important a little bit to validify. So that is not a word. Now I can't speak. Give validity. Thank you, Stace. Give validity to our conference. I think that's just as big.
Well, Coach and players, we thank you for joining us here today, and good luck the rest of the
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're joined by Linfield College. They just played in the 7th game of the 2012 NCAA Division III Softball National Championship Tournament. We've got head coach Jackson Vaughn, as well as first baseman Stacy Doucette and pitcher Karina Pavlov. Coach, some comments from you today to talk about today's game.
Obviously a tough one. It was a game that we felt like we were in pretty good control early, and we're hitting the ball pretty well. We just didn't get the big hit to kind of knock them out early. We were right on the edge, and we just left some runners on. We had some of our best hitters up in a couple of those circumstances that I wouldn't pick anybody else to be up in those situations, and we just didn't get it done. And we played PLU enough. They're really scrappy, and their numbers sometimes don't tell the whole story. I think in terms of they're just a pretty complete team. They just don't have a lot of easy outs in our lineup, and they scrapped and fought, and they just did what they do. There's so many games, and you look at their stats that they get hit by a pitch and an error or a walk, and then they get a big hit, and they get 2 or 3 runs, and that was certainly the case today. And that they have found a way to continue to play that way and win games, and you have to credit them for doing that. And on our end, like I said, I was pretty happy at the end with our kids, just because I felt like we hit the ball pretty well, and really it's just kind of one of those games that happens sometimes where you just don't get the big hit when you needed it to kind of knock a team out. So hopefully, we'll get a chance at them again. But we know we're going to have to beat some good teams to get back at them. But I'm encouraged by the way we're hitting. We're kind of a team in a slump at the end of the season, and we're kind of back to swinging the bats the way that we're capable of. And so that's encouraging, because we can keep pitching it well and now get some timely hits. Hopefully we'll get a chance again.
We'll now open it up to media. Rick, if you have any questions.
Could you tell us about the big pitch, the big home run? Was it a rise ball?
Yep, it was a rise, and she just waited on it and kept her hands up and hit it over.
Did you feel comfortable out there? You seem to really be, after the first inning, you really seem to be in control out there. Your defense doing a great job for you. Were you feeling in control out on the circle?
Oh yeah, I have full confidence in our team. I know that we're going to get it done. Just sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Stacy,
Korea's pitched against a bunch this year, and they're a team that Korea's a rise ball pitcher, and sometimes when you're a rise ball pitcher, you kind of live and die sometimes by it. And we've had a couple good rise ball pitchers since I've been at Linfield. And sometimes when you lose a tough game and you don't get the hits like that, it's because they were able to stay up on one and hit it out. And the pitch was pretty high. She got it up pretty good, but Amanda, has had some big hits for PLU the last part of the year. She's come through for them a couple times, but she, to her credit, she got the bat up and up and stayed on it. And the dangerous thing with rise ball sometimes is keep them up, and the hands get on them, sometimes they can get out. So in that one, wasn't hit that hard, but enough height on it that it got out. So.
Karina, talk about it a little bit. You look at a team like PLU. This is the 8th time you face them this year. I'm not sure personally how many times you've gone against them, but how do you come into a game where the other team that you're playing against really knows you as well as about you know yourself, playing them 8 times in 1 year?
I know that my pitches have gotten better since the last time we played them. I've had a month and a half to work on it. It's just kind of, you never know what you're going to get.
Absolutely. And Stacy, on the other side, you know their pitchers. You probably faced her several times this season. You come up with a big 4-for-4 day and a blast of your own there to right center field. Not only talk about your mindset going into today's game and what at-bats you wanted to put together against a pitcher you knew, but talk about that at-bat as well, too, when you hit your home run.
I mean, it was as unfortunate as to lose. I mean, I think we're really encouraged by how we hit the ball today. I mean, we had 12 hits, and I mean, if we have 12 hits, there's no reason that we should be scoring 3 runs. It was just, we couldn't seem to get that one big hit to push those runs across. And that at bat against her, I mean, we're the same age, so we've we're both seniors, so I don't know how many at-bats I've had against her, but we both know each other really well, just how we play. And I was just trying to go up there and get a good pitch to hit, and I was fortunate that she kind of left the pitch up over the plate a little bit. And we've been working really hard the last week. We had about a week off between our Linfield Regional. We came straight to Virginia, and we've had like 3 or 4 days worth of practice that we just worked for 2 hours a day on hitting, trying to fix the little things. And I think it really started to show today. I mean, we struggled a little bit yesterday. We put up a lot of runs, but we didn't really hit as many hard balls yesterday as we did today. And so I would say we're actually pretty encouraged. I mean, it was a really crappy game to lose, but I mean, we had 12 hits, so I mean, I think we're encouraged by that for sure.
Coach, we talked to Coach Aaron Van Nostrand about this very same thing. From a coaching aspect, it's one thing for the players to know each other well and face each other on the field, but going coach to coach, somebody that knows how you coach probably just as well as you know how you coach. How do you come into the game looking for that edge, looking to find something to differentiate between this game and the 7 others you may have played throughout the season?
I think a lot of it, when you play each other that many times, like you're not going to get a lot of coaching advantages because you know the other team. So it really does come down to a player's game to some extent, because Karina's not going to surprise them by throwing a rise ball, and their kid's not going to throw us with what she does. And so, it really does come down to more a player's game. I think sometimes you're working for an edge to some extent, but at this point, even like Shelby Vandenberg, our number 3 pitcher, pitched a bunch against him in the conference tournament, was very effective toward the end of the year. But even her, they've seen now 2 or 3 times. So there's not a lot of hidden things you can do. And we both play very similar styles. I think when Aaron came into the conference, their goal was certainly to beat us and to compete with us because we'd won the conference. And they became a team that is very similar to us in terms of some speed at the top and some really good power hitters in the middle. And they play an aggressive style. They run the bases really aggressively, and they like to run squeezes and all the stuff that we've kind of done. And so it's really like playing ourselves a lot of the time. And so it's a fun game, and you have to compliment them because they've built their program up and got to a point where it's obviously a great rivalry now between the 2 teams.
And I think that's where I finish with both you players. And if Karina, you go first, how fun is it to play in a game like this where it is a team that but still you've got to compete that much harder to try and beat them?
I love playing them. It's always a good challenge. It makes us better, makes them better. Either way, just kind of up in the air which way it goes. It's a blast.
Yeah, I mean, we've always had a really kind of fiery rivalry with PLUs ever since I've been here. They've always been one of the top 3 teams in our conference since I've been at Linfield, and so they've always played us tough. They played us tough last year when we won it. They beat us once, and all the other games were pretty close. So, I mean, I feel like today there's no reason why we should have lost. We just couldn't get that big hit, but I mean, we're definitely looking forward to having the chance to play them again if we can put a couple good games together and continue hitting the ball the way that we did.
Rick?
Coach, I was wondering about the change of DH today.
Lisa's been hitting the ball really well in pregame, and so Watson had the big hit yesterday, but Haley's been kind of struggling a little bit in the conference tournament at the end of the year, and so it was a tough decision. But it was kind of one of those they don't know a lot about Lisa, and they kind of felt like knew how to pitch to Haley, so decided to give Lisa a shot and see how she would do. And she didn't work out today. She didn't end up getting a big hit, but she's certainly been hitting the ball extremely well in BP and warm-ups and stuff. And so we decided to give her a shot today and see what she could do. And in retrospect, didn't work. Let's think back maybe what would happen if we kept Haley in the lineup today. But those are decisions someone's got to make and see if they work out.
Coach and players, we thank you for joining us here today, and good luck the rest of the tournament.